Sorry for the fast countdown.
That's okay.
I assumed you were ready.
Yeah, no, I'm good. So you guys are in good old, cold old Vaskia. You've had your meeting with the prince and gotten your potions all sorted. You're pretty much all ready to go. Mm-hmm. What would you guys like to do? It's still morning, so you still have... Oh, it's actually...
It would have been a few hours.
Yeah, a few hours. So it'll be just after midday.
Lazara's going to say, okay, so me and Nate have already used our teleports for today. Why don't we just stay here for the day? I mean, I hear Tuzar's got someone else running the guild. I kind of want to go see who it is.
Oh yeah, that does sound interesting.
I'm curious about that.
Do you think it's that armor guy that she's been referring to a lot? Well, armor person. I was asking that in character, by the way.
Could be.
Could be.
Only one way to find out.
Even though I got the same response.
There's only one way to find out. Why don't we go?
Yeah.
All right. So, everyone's going to the scabbard, or?
Yes.
Yep, let's go.
All right. I am. Chloe's going to stay here because you can see Griselda kind of calling him over to help do more work.
That's fair.
So he will bid good day to all of you, give Diana a peck on the cheek, and then
Aww. Wholesome.
Adorable.
Like the whole part. Aww.
He'll be a bit red in the face as he leaves. So, you guys step out into the cold Vaskia air, and make your way down the main strip toward the Scabbard building. The Scabbard headquarters is more or less across the road from the SSO guild.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember you mentioning that because the first time we ever used the teleporters, I remember because we didn't have our winter clothes on, and you were just all it's okay, it's not that far. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you guys are, oh god, we're gonna freeze. How long does it take to traverse the city to get to 5 seconds? It's across the street. Oh.
Yeah, I remember that specifically.
Yeah. Convenient.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So you guys head down to the Scabbard Guild, and you head inside, and they're there as well. So
I did not like how you said that.
Yeah, I'd just forgotten about the timeline of events of everything is just connecting in such a way. So as you guys arrive and head inside, you see 2 humans sitting by the counter. They're treating it like a bar, and they're drinking. They each have a beer. And the person behind the counter is, in fact, that same large, full plate armor individual, just plate armor from head to toe.
Even just doing that, they're still wearing the full get up.
Yeah. What?
Yep. With a big greatsword over their back. And they just seem ready in case anything happens. Just combat, in case the guild comes under fire or whatever. They're just good to go.
Oh my god.
And
Lazara just walks over to the counter, slams her hand on it, and says, "What's up, losers? Who are you guys?"
So once you approach and slam your hand down on the counter and have a look at them properly, you notice that it is the Wayward brothers.
Lazara's face immediately
shit.
She goes from smiling to, "Oh, it's you."
Ooh, not good.
The one with the slightly longer hair, good old Sam, is just hey! And he turns around and sees all of you guys, and he stands up and he says, hey! And he walks over and says hi to all of you, and the other one is sitting there, like just kind of staring at Lyra, still just in shock and just
Faye is the only one who knows what's up between those two too.
terrified. Terrified's a pretty good word.
Yeah. I don't even need to roll insight on anything.
No, you're fully aware.
Yeah, I'm good. I am like, oh shit. Like Faye, Faye's just like just you could like she's just sweating. She's like, oh shit. It's just
Diana is very excited to see them again, and she gives each of them a big hug.
Oh. So you head over and give them each a great big hug.
That's exactly what's going on. Like, oh
Thank
shit.
you.
Hands are about to be thrown.
Diana goes and gives everyone a big old hug. Sam gives you a big hug, and the spiky boy also gives you a big hug. Like he's kind of snapped out of his terrified, color drained look to give you a great big hug. So that's quite nice.
Hey, what are you guys doing here? I had no idea you were in the city right now.
Oh well, we didn't know you were in the city either.
I've been for a couple of days, actually.
I mean, we've just taken a job. What was it, Deaton? And he says, "Oh, it was Rimaraz, big, nasty, cold, like a worm thing, like in the water, attacks like boats and."
Oh, yeah.
And people, it's bad. We're killing it.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah.
So you guys been around for a while, or you just?
We've been bouncing around from job to job.
Hmm.
Killed a vampire. That was the thing we did, and we just got back to claim our reward, and then we were given a new job, and now we're doing that. Yeah.
I assume your job was to sit here on your ass.
Shit.
Well, we're still in the
Oh no.
the preparation phase of getting all of our equipment together and stuff. They're just going to charge in blind. I mean, you know, he's kind of like shaken and a bit more quiet than usual. Doesn't have that gusto and that over the top confidence that he normally has.
Diana sits down next to him and she explains that she's been like spending some time here helping the royal family deal with a situation.
Ah. Right. Yeah, I heard that you're kind of a thing with like the prince here. That's pretty cool.
Who told you that?
It's just word gets around.
What?
Word, like, you know, rumors spread. People hear about. Oh, the prince is dating a.
Diana, you're dating the
Tiefling.
prince. I don't think. Yeah.
So everyone,
It's not like she's
crazy.
not like she's dating. Sorry, go ahead.
Diana has no idea that people are gossiping about this. She doesn't know that. She's like taken aback by this, and she's like, "Oh."
Sam stifles a giggle. Dean says, "Well, I mean, it's kind of the talk of the town lately. That and that the king's kind of on his last legs."
Yeah, that's looking pretty rough.
Yeah. And he takes a big drink of his beer.
That's like sweating now. Are people talking about this? Oh shit.
Like Diana, like you're dating the prince. It's not like you're dating some rando off the
Well,
street.
she doesn't think about it that way.
Like, how do people know? It's like you're literally dating a celebrity. Like, I don't understand. Okay.
She just sits there fidgeting.
As does Dean for various reasons. So Sam says, "Yeah, I mean, we were just getting together all of our stuff that we need, getting our poison resistance, and you know, we have to go out onto a boat, so gotta get ready with the sea legs and."
Better watch out. You don't want to get seasick.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping to avoid. And he kind of looks over at Dean, who just takes another big drink of his beer.
So a lot of work, huh?
Yeah, like a job after job after job kind of thing. I mean, I can't complain. We're getting paid all right. It's okay. But I don't know. It seems like we're just getting fed a whole heap of jobs, and I've noticed other people around the guild that have not been fed a whole heap of jobs. So, I mean...
Is this Simon's doing?
Roll an insight check. This is Simon's doing. He's given.
I feel like you don't even need to roll. Yeah, you don't even need to roll that high. You just fucking know.
100%. This is Simon's doing.
I mean, she knows Simon very well. She would
Yeah.
not struggle to like realize these things.
Just to keep them away. But yeah.
Well, things back home have been going pretty good. Iris is pregnant, so that's the thing.
They're both pretty excited and happy about that. And Dean just says, "Oh, we'll have to get like a gift for the little kid." And what's a good gift for a tiefling kid? Is it going to be a tiefling kid?
We don't know, but
it is going to be a red kid.
She is going to be very red. I would suggest something that's fireproof.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I would suggest offering your immortal soul.
Jesus.
Goodness. The
No
edge.
chill.
Ow, the edge.
Dean's mood goes from that sort of like, hey, back to the sort of like, just takes another drink. Sam's like, I'm sure we can find like just a normal kid's clothing outfit and get it enchanted to be fireproof or something like that. We can get something. That's a pretty good idea.
That work.
We'll do that. We saved up a bit of money from all the work we've had.
I think at this point Diana's going to like look at Lisa and can I roll insight and see like what the fuck is up with her?
Sure.
Like, why are you being this way? What's your damage?
Oh.
How? Yikes.
Whatever's going on, it must be something complicated. Just some Lazarus stuff, maybe.
Just on the side.
Face just still sitting there like awkwardly like, yep, the tension is fixed in this room.
Is Pip along for this, by the way?
Is what?
Is Pip along for this, by the way?
Oh, Pip's there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Has he met these guys before?
No.
No, he
He's
has
just kind of
not.
hanging back and watching the conversation to sort of feel everybody out.
Okay.
It's at this point, however, that now that you mentioned that Pip is going to approach the counter and lean across it and speak to the armored person like, hey, can I
I want to actually... Oh, go ahead.
can I get a drink as well? And the person standing there, the big person in the armor, looks down at him, and just looks at him in silence for a couple of moments, and then says, This isn't a bar, dear. In like a really feminine voice, and he's just like, but oh, fuck myself then, don't worry about it. And he just like turns around and walks back to the group, and he's just like, it's not a bar, guys. It's not. This isn't a bar.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
It's the
Wait,
first
what did
time
you
we.
say? I'm sorry.
This is the first time we heard that character speak.
Oh yeah.
You're
But-
skipping out. I'm so sorry.
It's the big armored person said, "This isn't a bar."
Lazara turns to the big armor person and says, "Speaking of, I don't. We've seen you a few times, but I don't think we've ever been formally introduced." Lazara.
Let's see if I have this person's name written down already. I'm sure that I do. I don't. The person.
You're like, I gotta make up a name right on the spot.
No, I know the name. The person reaches down and shakes Lazara's hand. She introduces herself as Kalas.
Big girl.
And,
You go, Lacey.
By the way, this isn't Faye,
how
this
do
is
you-
just me.
How do you write that?
Khelas.
Diana waves from where she's sitting and she introduces herself as well.
Faye does the same as well.
So does Jeffrey.
She nods to all of you.
I mean, it's just polite.
It's just funny to me, like the names like Faye and Kalas and Lazira and then Jeffrey. Like
It's like, finally, I have captured you, Dragon Lord Dennis.
Well, it's fine because I actually wanted to give I wanted to give him a human sounding name.
Oh my god. And that's like Diana, 19, from Passage, and apparently everyone talks about my love life.
she sighs and then she says, "That's why I don't get involved in that sort of thing.
Aw.
People just gossip and it makes things more complicated than they need to be."
Oh yeah, I bet it would be really insulting if you told the person you were gossiping about that you were gossiping about them to their face.
I'm sure that it would.
Lazara doesn't even look at Dean. She just keeps her eyes right on Kalas.
Oh my god.
So she says, "Well, are you all members of the guild, or?"
We sure
Yeah,
are.
but we're from Passage. We're just visiting.
Ah,
Hell, I was born in that place.
Diana just sticks her leg up like,
She was.
Cicadas against the corner.
She was born in the guild.
Yeah.
The one in Veskier, the one in Passage.
The one in Passage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodness,
from the-
okay, it's just like, I'm so confused. What is your
Good-
backstory?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
for the
everyone
second,
just leaning down the,
From the
everyone
side.
leaning there on the counter, and then like, just I was born right here on this
On
this
this
counter
table.
here. All these guys like with their beards just kind of sit right the fuck up and just.
Like, nope.
No, when you mentioned like the guild in Passage, she was like, "Yeah, I was born there."
Yeah, for real.
Literally.
My home turf. Yeah, she says, well, if you're looking for work, we always have new jobs coming in. We try to get as many out as we can. These two boys have been very helpful. Sam and Dean kind of just sort of bashfully scratch the back of their heads. But she then says that we're paying them a lot of gold, so one would hope they will. And that immediately sort of takes away the, no, well, okay. She says, I get out and do as many jobs as I can as well, but Tuazar seems just as keen to go out and do the jobs as she is to run the guild, so sometimes she leaves me here to do this now.
Sounds like she's.
Well, she must trust you quite a bit to put you in this position.
I guess. I mean, sometimes it's more of a whim or a fleeting fancy, it would seem, as she goes charging off to fight something or hunt a bear or whatnot. kind of just leaves the guild here. So,
or apparently sometimes.
Is this? I was actually gonna say. I was like, I was just gonna be like, is this recent that she's been going out more, or?
Well, I haven't known her for very long. I've only been here for a brief amount of time, but from what I can tell, yes.
Yeah, yep, that's Merton.
So where's she off to today?
I can't quite recall what she said she was doing. Something about learning to make healing potions for the guild or something like that.
Huh.
So she's probably down at the local apothecary.
Yeah. We, me and Pip saw her when we were at the potion shop earlier.
Ah, so she was actually doing what she said she was doing.
As far as I could tell.
Good. Good to know.
I mean, surely enjoys her time there, whether it's for stuff like that or just leisure time.
Maybe both.
At the apothecary.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was probably. She probably was doing what she was doing, but that doesn't stop them from,
doing other things.
You know.
You know.
She looks at all of you, but you can't quite see her face under the full plate helmet. But you're sure that there's a look of confusion underneath. And she's like, I'm afraid I don't know.
Lazara starts making the sex sign with her fingers.
I've been hanging out with these guys too much for too long.
She's like, I don't know what that is.
Oh my god.
It's okay, you don't need to
You don't know what that means.
I'm putting ingredients into a potion? Is that...
Oh no, baby girl.
It's okay,
This
it's
poor
not
sweet summer child.
It's okay, it's not
Sounds like,
important.
oh sure, no one talks about them.
Lazara sighs and says, No, look, Merton is her boyfriend.
There's just silence from the full plate armored big human woman. And then she's like, so they like really?
Yeah.
Yes, really.
Oh my god, do Sam and Dean know this? Or are they also just learning it?
They're also just learning this now. It seems as though like
Wait till they find out that we're the reason why they're banging more frequently now.
despite like it seems as though like despite them actually being in a relationship now, they also do tend to keep it on the low.
Right.
You know, they're not exactly going over and like smooching in front of everyone, PDAs or whatever.
Yeah.
They are keeping it more of a private thing. So these guys are also just getting clued in now as well.
Surprise.
You seem surprised.
Yeah. But she, after like a solid like 20 to 30 seconds of her just being dead silent, she says, well, I suppose everybody has their preferences. That's all right. I mean, I'm not being judgmental or anything like that. I'm just trying to figure out
We also don't know how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
It just happened.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so far Merton hasn't walked off on her, so I mean, good for them.
Yeah. I suppose that is good. Dean continues drinking.
Like Faye just like looks over, like, yep, mm-hmm.
You fucked up.
Like, oh shit, boy.
The big full plate lady says, well, I mean, I suppose he does have healing potions and the like there, so
Oh my god.
I'm
she's
sure
so
he'll be
pure.
all right. He won't be injured, and
He wouldn't be injured.
Oh my
he can
god.
remedy that.
Oh my god.
I mean, so far he's still alive, so I'm sure it's fine.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I'm certain. You can see her like deep in thought. Like you can't see her face, but you know that she's like really deep in thought on
I
trying
bet
to
it's
figure
kind of
out
like watching
the,
like Alphonse emo.
yeah, like the
You tell from like the body language and other stuff.
Oh my goodness.
she just like looks like she's making like eye contact with you through like the helmet. You know that much, but then the helmet just kind of looks down at the counter for a bit as she's just trying to piece together the puzzle that is like, how does he like angle himself to get in there to do like any kind of damage? Like,
Oh my god.
yeah, like exactly that.
Oh my god.
At this point, Lazara slaps her hand on the table again, and she says, "Okay, I have been wanting to ask this in this entire time we've been talking, but is there any particular reason why you're only working the counter today, and yet you're still dressed in full plate armor?"
Well, if an emergency job comes in, I like to be ready in case it's urgent. But well, I suppose we have enough people here. And she looks over at the boys and she says that it's I can relax a bit. And she takes off the big greatsword, and sort of leans it against the counter and takes off the helmet. And she's a very very beautiful woman. Surprising that she
shit.
keeps it like all hidden behind a big full plate helmet where you can just see nothing. She has long, like flowing platinum hair that kind of gets coiled up behind her head in the helmet. Provides
Do
some
we
good
have a
padding.
Do we have a reference image?
I don't have one.
Oh, unfortunate.
So that's up to you guys. She has kind of a scar on her right cheek that's not a massive scar, but a small one, probably from like a dagger or like a bolt passing by. Some sort of cut that took place. But apart from that, very pristine and pure. There's the sort of look you would get from, you would assume, like a paladin of some sort that's really in the good graces of the gods. And they look after her
like human,
suchly.
elven,
Human woman. Human woman. Kind of palish skin and platinum blonde hair. It goes down to just below her shoulders.
Nice.
Gunther. Nice. That's the worst
Just-
comment
no,
you've
that's-
ever
Hey, might
made.
be end.
No, that's just
Like,
me
"Holy
saying
shit."
that.
Gunther is like
Finally,
asexual
like-
the whole time, and suddenly he's like, "This one."
Yeah, out of nowhere, he's like,
Crush me, mother.
He's all like sticks his leg up in the air, like, "Hey."
That's the
Who's
player.
gonna make a
That's the player speaking, not Jeffrey.
yeah.
who's
He's
gonna
like, "Step
who's
on
gonna
me."
who's gonna make a comment first? Lazira, Pip, Faye? No, Gunther.
Gunther,
Like,
out of
whoa.
everybody, just dead silent, and then just
Crush me, mother.
Take me to the Holy Land.
oh man. Anyway, God. So, she places her helmet down with a bit of a clank onto the counter. Looks pretty heavy. And you imagine beneath the big bulking steel armor that she has on, like, she fills out the armor. She looks like she's big and tough under there. And you see Sam and Dean sitting way down the end of the counter. Sort of an L-shaped counter, and they're sort of at the little lip of the L. And you see Dean pull out a jug out of his bag, uncork it, and fill up the mugs again with more beer.
Pip's just like, "Oh."
Yeah, you see Pip just kind of like, oh, they brought their own. And he sort of sidles up beside Dean, and he's like, "So can I partake in a mug?"
You wouldn't want to. It's all gross and slimy.
Oh my
You
god.
see Sam kind of like look down at his beer, and he's just like, "Ooh."
Oh my god.
I
And
have
Pip kind of looks over at you, and then looks back at the beer, and like he just kind of like leans over it and sniffs it.
Oh my god.
It's like, I don't think there's anything. Is there anything wrong with it? And Dean's just like, no, it's just. I mean, it's magical, but that's about it. There's nothing
It's
wrong.
magical?
It's my beer. I brewed it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
What do you mean it's magical?
He looks offended.
Well, Lazira grins and she says, "Trust me, I wouldn't touch anything that guy gives you with a 10-foot pole."
He scoffs and he says, "By magical, I mean that I could just keep pouring and more beer comes out. It's a special jug
Of course, he has
special
one of
jug of my beer." He looks very offended. But Pip looks over at Lazira and sees that she doesn't care. And now Pip's caught in this moment where he's like, I kind of want a beer, but Lazira says that it's not okay, and I kind of trust her. So he declines the beer after all.
just kind
Oh
of.
my god.
Dean's just kind of like, find some more magical beer for me then. Stupid.
Oh my god.
Lazira says, "Don't worry. I'll get you some good stuff before the end of the night."
He smiles. And he says, "Oh, is there a good local tavern that you know of?"
Go to the one that we went to last time. Faye says that out loud.
Lazira just kind of goes, I mean,
Can I roll insight on that?
Go ahead.
look, no, wait, she's not done talking yet.
Hang on.
Let her finish talking first. She's gonna say,
Yeah, keep going.
as she goes, look, I really don't want to go back to the tavern that I threw up in a bucket in.
Still, like, I mean, like, my insight
Okay.
wasn't good,
So
but I was still
you're-
gonna roll
you-
insight anyways.
Yeah, so the insight gives you that She seems pretty truthful that she doesn't want to go back to the place she threw up in a bucket in. That seems like pretty legit. She seems to believe exactly what
Yeah.
she's saying.
Yeah.
I get the idea what Lysara meant was for I'm just gonna like run to the kitchen when we go back to the castle and grab some of that hella fancy wine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 'cause you polished off the last bottle, didn't you? That's right.
Yes.
I remember. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Fluffy said it was fine.
So, so you God. So Dean continues drinking away at his beer that he loves so much and cares for. As Sam is now kind of like cautiously sipping at his, like waiting for this so-called sliminess to hit. And you can see that he's now not enjoying it the way he should be, just because he's so cautious and worried about it.
I want to roll insight on what Lysara said about the beer. Like, does Lysara know something we don't?
Oh, 21.
Oh Jesus!
Let's see how good her deception was.
Yeah, you.
Amazing.
The exact same roll.
So
All right.
So,
Okay, so I'm assuming she knows I was lying from that.
oh yeah, like you know that there's nothing slimy about the beer, but there's some sliminess that went on.
Like she's upset about something. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
she's in a sticky situation.
Dad's
she used
just like,
to
I'll
be
have
a
some of
sticky
your beer.
situation, but not anymore.
Sex.
Mm.
But yeah, so what was that?
Dad just goes, I'll have some of your beer.
And Dean's just like, yeah, yeah, good. And then he takes out a mug. He has like a pack of travel mugs. He takes it out, puts it in front of you, and he uncorks the jug. And as he does so, you see like through the top of the jug, it kind of like fills with beer. And he goes to pour it, and he stops. And he looks at you, and he says, "You're not going to tell Simone, are you?"
Of course not.
Okay, good. And then he tips it into the mug. And then he corks it again, and he puts it away. And as he's putting it away, he said, "Because Simone would beat me against the side of the guild building like a dusty like mat. You know that, right?"
Yeah. He
Pretty
really
entertaining.
shouldn't. I mean, I'm.
Excuse me, what did you say? I didn't hear that.
That'd be entertaining. Sam laughs.
I'm old enough to drink. That's none of his business.
Yeah.
We also had to, like carry under a room like super drunk one time. That was an interesting adventure.
Yes, it was interesting.
Gunther and I are just all like, We had to climb a wall with a half unconscious Diana.
And sneak her into a
Nice.
window.
Nice. You went hard. But really though, like he'll actually kill me.
It's fine. It's not
Okay,
like I'm
good.
gonna go and tell him.
Excellent. And then he hands you your mug, and then he gives a bit of a cheers, taps his mug against yours, and then starts drinking.
I drink with them then.
Okay. This beer does not taste slimy. It tastes like normal beer. It doesn't taste magical either. That's just kind of, you just discovered that that's just him talking up his beer because he has a magic jug. That's
Oh
about
my
it.
god.
But I mean, it's not slimy, so she'll still enjoy it.
Yeah, it's beer. It's nice. So, what would you guys like to do while you're here at the guild?
I don't think any of us thought this through.
Well, we're mostly here to meet the new person. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
The,
Gunther's like, damn.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Kelos says, well, we do have some spare beds in the dorm upstairs. If any of you would like to stay.
I think we have places to like. We personally have a place to stay at the castle, right?
Oh, that's nice.
Lazara just kind of grins and says, I'd love to take you up on your offer, but I have a thing about not sleeping too close to cockroaches.
Goodness.
God.
She's
You're
going after
chill.
his life.
Yeah, going in. Get out.
Going for the jugular.
For real.
Oh my god.
I have been waiting for this for so long.
One after the other.
Like,
Just
Jake's
boom,
all like,
boom,
hold
boom.
on, I have like a list of like. Jake's like, hold on, I got like a list of like insults ready.
Opens up the
Like,
document
it's like
on
a
your phone.
20-page document,
Yeah.
doc, Google Doc.
The one on
No,
your
the
phone
great part
that
is
you've
I'm
been adding
coming up
to
with these
on
on the
the go.
spot.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. She's like, there's a roach problem? I didn't know that. We should get an exterminator. And she turns
Oh, yeah,
to
I
Faye
agree.
just kind of Faye just like waves a dismissive hand, just like it's fine, don't worry about it.
she turns to the boys and she said, boys, you can deal with the bugs before you go on your job. And they look up at you and they look up at her and they're just like, okay, great, thanks.
Oh, fuck.
And Sam has this big grin on his face and he's like, yeah, we'll make sure that we deal with these insects before we leave. And he's just kind of looking down at Dean, who's just like lowly drinking out of his mug.
Does Sam know?
Yeah, Diana's just like, okay, yeah, that's very kind of you, but we are staying at the castle, so.
Okay. Well, if you are ever looking for work, come by. We always have contracts going. I'm sure that you could all provide a helping hand.
I'm sure we'll find the time.
Hmm.
I'm always up for killing shit.
In her
That's
case,
good.
it's almost being killed.
But did you die? The woman says, "Well, it's good to see we have another Tuazar here."
Jesus.
Lazara flexes her not very large muscles.
And you see her kind of like, oh, and then she detaches like the right arm of her armor and flexes this massive Tuazar-sized gun that she has,
Holy shit.
and she's just like, yeah, good.
Now would be the appropriate time to mention that Diana and Faye took down a bunch of sailors. We're gonna have another arm wrestling contest 2.0. Let's go. Let's do this.
It's like, oh shit, are we doing this again?
Lazara just takes her shirt off, like, that's what we were doing, right?
No.
Does she
Stop! Like pulls it back down.
Does she really though?
No.
Okay. Just check. So, Diana, roll a intelligence check real quick. Add Nazira if you're interested in that arm wrestling thing. Just straight up intelligence.
Yikes.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Jeffrey has no
So-
chance of arm wrestling against anyone ever, so.
Zyra, you're fairly confident you can take her. Diana, you know for sure. Like, you're a tough girl. Like, you're always holding like heavy swords and shields and armor, and you got some good guns going on. You can't take this woman in an arm wrestle. Absolutely not. She would snap your shit in two. If she put in like a modicum of effort, she could just break your shit off and fling it across the room. It's
Yeah,
not a chance.
Diana is muscular, but she's compact. You know, she's a small girl.
Tiefling.ra.
I want to see Lysira try.
Roll a new character.
As she severs your arm at the shoulder, and then you bleed out onto the floor
Like,
Which was just an
with her bare
accident.
hands. Anyway, you guys spend some time at the scabbard for the remainder of the day. Is there anything else that you wanted to do in Vaskia before the evening? Also, are you going out drinking?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, when I say absolutely, she's not necessarily going to that particular.
Yep. Yep. Wise and safe.
Hmm.
So that's what we're doing. We're going out to a pub.
I assume that's what's going on. At least some of you are. Depends
That's what
how many.
Lazara is doing. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I'm
Lazara
not,
was taking
I'm not
the
drinking.
pub.
I mean, I'll go. I'm just probably not a good idea to drink since, we have to A, travel back to Passage, and B, start our huge trip tomorrow.
Mhm.
When has that ever stopped Lazara from doing something stupid?
Never,
I
but
know.
A very
I
valid
wasn't
point.
talking. I wasn't talking about Lazara. I was talking about Faye.
Yeah, very
yeah,
fair.
no, Jeffrey's not drinking either. For the same
Like, I'll
reasons.
go. I'm just like, nope. But we have a big trip tomorrow, and I gotta be well aware of my surroundings. Not a good idea.
There's also some stuff I want to work on anyway.
Okay. So it would take you about 3 days travel. You taking your horses?
Yeah, but I
Um,
know.
You just travel by cart with one cart, if anything.
You probably could, since Pip is not going to be going in, so he can look after the horses when you go in the cave.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
So it would only take you about 2 days to get there. You have to make camp near like Dernderom.
So it's fine if
spend
you're
the night there.
hungover. Don't worry.
We're gonna go see the goblins again.
Wouldn't we
The
be able
Zyra
to stay?
shudders.
Can we see the?
Wouldn't we be able to stay there in the first place?
Probably,
We
Probably.
could.
if there's enough housing.
You could
Yeah,
also go to Iron Cove and hang out with the Dragonborn.
that's true.
That's true if you want to sleep on the beach, but there's also like in Dernderom, there's also the tavern and inn.
I'm sure Lazara has plenty of reason to want to see how things are going at Iron.
Anyway, I'm asking again. Are we going drinking? Yeah.
I mean,
It
if
seems it seems like that's the case.
Awesome. So in that case, if the party decides to go to the pub, Diana's gonna go see if Clovis is free and wants to join them for drinks. Well, it doesn't seem like he drinks much, but he'll probably enjoy the company and hanging out.
Jeffrey will hang out for a bit, but he's gonna leave early
Okay.
and not drink.
It's my bedtime, guys. Sorry.
No,
You're just
you-
all like, I don't want to stay out. I'm gonna go back to the scabbard and talk to the really beautiful buff woman.
Step on me, please.
Crush me, mother.
Okay, so whoever is going out drinking, you guys make your way down to the tavern. the brothers, well, they were about to come with you, but then they elect to stay behind. Dean very suddenly volunteers both of them to stay behind.
Oh no, I wanted it to come.
But you were going to fetch the prince?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you're leaving, how many of you are going exactly? Is it everyone except for Gunther, or?
I said I'm
I
going,
think
but
there's-
I'm leaving early. I
Yeah.
said.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so all of you are leaving. As you're leaving, you hear Sam whining at Dean about going to the pub.
Oh.
But you make your way up the main street after saying your goodbyes to everyone there, and
I just want to say, as Lazara is leaving, she just kind of turns to Dean and grins and says, "That's okay. I didn't want you to go anyway."
Oh,
Right.
he kind of sneers.
Who hears this? Do we all hear this?
I mean, I'm sure she wasn't hiding it.
She wasn't.
She wasn't hiding it.
Dana just kind of turns to you like, "What's gone into you?"
Like that face, just like no, like she does that thing where she like you put the hand like on your neck, and, like no.
Yeah. What's gotten into you? Like he did once.
is it
Was it-
obvious enough that she's pissed at him that I don't need to roll anything?
Oh yeah, I
Of
mean,
course
look-
it is.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
That's what I figured.
Lazara
That's what
just
that
kinda-
looked-
Lazara just kind of pats Diana on the head and says, "Oh, don't worry about it."
I. What?
Don't worry about it. Like
Roll an
basically,
insight
like,
check, Diana.
Oh.
You at first sort of took it as like a bit of an inside joke that they have going on. It's don't worry about it. It's just we're just kidding around. But you're starting to think like, oh, don't worry about it was more of like something personal went on. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about it.
I.
Faye just like puts a hand on Diana's shoulder, like don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
No,
That
don't worry
one,
about
you
it.
don't even have to roll for that one. You know that one's a please don't ask because I'm terrified.
So you guys sure you're not coming then?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Diana's all like, please,
Just
Gives them
talking.
the big eyes.
please.
Yeah, because she only gets to see them like super rarely.
Yeah, she gives them the big puppy dog eyes, and Dean kind of like looks up, and he's just like, we'll think about it. We'll talk about it. We have stuff we got to do for the job coming up and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,